Hello and welcome back to the Matrix Green Pill podcast. I'm your host, Hilmarie Hutchison, and today I'm speaking with someone who brings both business acumen and emotional honesty to the world of entrepreneurship. Sacha Christe is the founder and head of growth at Emirates Graphic, a digital agency based in Dubai that has grown into a 36-person team across 3 countries. Over the past 12 years, he's delivered more than 400 digital products and co-founded 7 startups, some successful, others not, each one contributing to a powerful story of growth, resilience, and purpose. Beyond his business achievements, Sacha is deeply committed to mentoring the next generation of founders and using technology to create meaningful, community-driven impact. I am so looking forward to this conversation. Sacha, welcome and thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, good evening, Hilmarie. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Sacha, let's begin with your background. Can you tell our audience a bit about yourself and what brought you to Dubai?
Of course. Well, my name is Sacha Christe. I'm originally from Switzerland. I've moved to Dubai 13 years ago, back in 2013 when I was 17. And I've been here ever since. And I'm the proud founder of Emirates Graphic, which is one of the leading app development company in the region.
Fantastic. Starting from scratch in a new country is no small feat. What did those early years in Dubai teach you about grit and self-belief?
Of course, it was not easy because initially what happened is that I started my company back in Switzerland. It was not working out. So I had to try something new. And I believed that Dubai could be a great option. So I came on a 2 weeks vacation and this became a 13 years, permanent residency. And what that taught me, when you move to a new country and you're an entrepreneur yourself and you're young, you're facing a lot of rejections. Plus, you don't really have the financial means to sustain yourself for a long time unless you do something that actually works out. And you also have to adjust yourself to a different culture because me coming from a Swiss background, obviously moving to the UAE, you need to adjust yourself when it comes to the culture. This whole 13-year period taught me a lot when it comes to resilience, persistence, and most importantly, the belief that if you keep showing up, if you keep trying, opportunities will come your way. And that's exactly what happened in my case.
So walk us through your first success. How long did it take you and what were you doing?
Well, I've been an entrepreneur for quite a long time. I originally started a small business in Switzerland where I was trading tennis equipments. That was quite a successful venture as a young entrepreneur. Then I moved ahead and started my own clothing line, which taught me a lesson because I was not passionate about the fashion industry at all, but I was just trying to jump on a trend, on an opportunity that I believed was a good opportunity. But it taught me that if you're not passionate about what you do, it doesn't work out. Then I realized that my passion had to do with digital transformation, marketing, building digital products. And that's why I ventured myself into Emirates Graphic and I grew it from there.
That's a really interesting insight, that it's easier to see success or to realize success when you are passionate about the industry that you're working in. I don't think I've often heard people say that. Of course, people say, you need to do what you're passionate about and what you enjoy. But really, it's more difficult if you're not passionate about something to see the success. I know you've also spoken quite openly about your early failures. Can you share one that changed the way you approach business and leadership today?
Yes. So as I mentioned before, I had this, clothing line that was unsuccessful because I wasn't passionate. But let's stick more to Emirates Graphic as a whole now, since it's the main company here. What I realized at the very early stage, which I believe is a good lesson for the audience, is that when you start a business like I did, you will tend to aim for quantity of clients over quality of clients because you're trying to build a portfolio, you're trying to say yes to every client that comes your way, and you have this tendency of over-promising and then unfortunately under-delivering because you're just trying to accumulate as many clients as possible to learn as you go. But that was a big lesson for me because that led to a lot of issues with clients in the initial stage of my company. And it taught me to change this model to basically under-promising and over-delivering. And most importantly, focus on quality of client, not just working with anybody that comes my way, but really making sure that we select clients that we believe in clients that we know for a fact that we can help, and clients that we know for a fact that we can deliver what they expect to receive from our side.
That's really interesting, and I think also really good advice. So how do you decide upfront what are some, let's say, red flags or green check marks when you're first meeting a new prospective client? Something that will either say, yes, this is one to go for, or no, this is one to steer clear of.
There are different ways to look at it because in our industry, we work with our clients long term. There are different things that we need to look at. Number one, how do I see my client long term? Do I see him passionate about his project? Do I see him ambitious about his project? Do I see him excited about his venture? That's one. Number two, based on experience that we have, and we've worked with so many different clients from different industries, with different company sizes, we understand the market, we understand what has potential and what doesn't. So it's also our job, if we come across a client that, has an idea of developing something, but we believe the idea is great, but it should be done differently, it's our job to mention it to them. If they don't want to listen to us and they prefer to do it exactly the way they want it to be done, then it's fine. We're not the right partner for you, because when I say we want to work with quality of clients, we want to work with projects that we believe in and entrepreneurs that we believe in. Because at the end of the day, it's a win-win for our client. When our projects are successful, the agency grows.
So you want to be aligned both on the product, that you believe in it, but you also want that alignment and that rapport with the people in the company that you're going to work with, so that you know that you can add to each other and have a successful relationship later on.
Exactly, because we're not just the company that will come in and take on the project, deliver the project, and then move on to another client. No, we want quality of client. We want to work with clients long term over the next 5-6 years. We want to grow their product. We want to help them raise funds if that's what they want to do moving forward. We want to be part of that success. And in order to be part of that success, not only do we need to be aligned with those entrepreneurs in terms of their vision, motivation, and ambition, but we also need to believe in the product that they want to build.
Absolutely. And also, like what you said earlier about being a mistake to go after quantity rather than quality. So rather than trying to secure every single client, be very selective about the clients that you're going to work with. So you've co-founded 7 startups. What have those experiences, successes and failures, taught you about risk, timing, and growth?
What's important to note is that, as you mentioned, not all startups succeed. Each of those startups teaches you about market fit and timing. And they also teach you on when to double down because it's going in the right direction, or when to pivot because it's not working out. We are in a position where we're pretty lucky in a sense that we have our own resources in-house in terms of design team, development team, marketing team. So we can quite easily, once we identify problems that could be solved in a specific industry, we can quite easily develop a solution and give it a try. But then, as I said, some works, some don't work. And then you need to know when you can double down and go at it, or when you need to pivot, or when you need to just shut it down because it's not working out and, it was the wrong idea to start with.
And I think that's sometimes difficult when we have a pet project or something that we're passionate about, but it's not going where we were hoping it would go. I think it's really difficult sometimes to pull the plug on something like that. But that's a skill you have to learn. For those in our audience who don't know what Emirates Graphic does, can you maybe just unpack a little bit what it is that you do?
Of course. So we are a digital agency based here in Dubai, but we have 3 locations worldwide. And we focus on designing and developing mobile applications, web platforms, and helping our clients with online marketing services. We worked with all types of industries, from small entrepreneurs all the way to multinational companies. And we're a team of 36.
Amazing. You also mentioned that you are in 3 different countries. Or what was the turning point in scaling, not just projects, but people into different countries?
It's quite an interesting story because when I started Emirates Graphic, I was not in a position where I could simply just hire employees, pay their salaries. I didn't have that kind of financial aid to do that. So what I did is, at the beginning, I was using different types of freelancers for different types of services based on what my clients were interested on, right? So I was using different freelancers. We started mainly with graphic design services at the beginning. So I was using different graphic designers, some guys from Bangladesh, some guys from Kosovo, some guys from India, all over the world. And then it came to a point where I had enough clients to justify hiring someone full time because it didn't make sense for me to pay someone project based when I have enough clients in the pipeline to pay someone a salary. So I looked at all the freelancers that I was working with and I selected the one that had the best experience with previous clients that we had. And I pretty much offered him a full time employment, which was the first employee. His name is Kustrim, he's in Kosovo. And that's how we happened to basically start building a team there. It's not because I wanted to start my team in Kosovo, it's because this is just how the opportunity presented itself.
Excellent. So you found the right person and then you grew him into that role because you had the clients to fulfill work for somebody who was in a full-time position.
Exactly. And it made sense to have that first employee full time. And then as we grew, since I was very comfortable with him and we had a great relationship, when we needed more people, the first person that I would go to would be him. I would tell him, look, this is what we need. Do you know anybody from your university, from your city that you personally know that could help us out with this? And then from there, we started step by step building a team under him. And to this day, he's the one heading that department in Kosovo, which is a beautiful story because this guy has been with me for close to 12 years now.
That is an amazing story and a real success in building a whole division under one person that you had that trust in after having worked with him. I think that's a really smart way that you approached growing your team. I know that you spend a lot of time also mentoring other entrepreneurs. What made that shift from building your own to supporting others?
What I want to say is once you get to a point where you have built a certain level of stability with your business and most of your processes are automated and you have the right delegation in place within your team members, you want to start giving back. This is one way of me giving back and also something that excites me. Because when I look at myself as a young entrepreneur, when I first moved to Dubai, I would have loved to get additional support when it comes to mentoring, what obstacles to overcome and how to deal with certain issues when you first start a business, or just giving me some kind of guidance so that you can basically do in a couple of months what usually would take you a couple of years without the right guidance. That's something that not only excites me, but also makes me happy. And more importantly, keeps me up to trend with the latest technology, the latest startups, and I like to be involved in that sphere.
Excellent. I love that one of your things is to give back, to help other people, to solve for problems that yourself needed help with when you first started out. How does that work? Do you have an organization you work through? Is it just a one-on-one thing? How do you choose who to mentor? How do they find you?
So I am part of different mentorship programs. One of them is the American University in Dubai. One of them is this incubator called In5. I'm also part of other business councils, like the Swiss Business Councils and so on, where I'm basically seen as the mentor, where I basically use that title to mentor under entrepreneurs that need certain help. And I also get approached a lot on LinkedIn with from different young entrepreneurs that need help with their investment pitch deck or they need help with validating their idea. So I take pride in helping as many of those young entrepreneurs as possible.
That's really excellent. In your experience, what are the most common pitfalls first-time founders face, and how do you help them to avoid those?
There are various pitfalls. Number one is the fact that a lot of entrepreneurs underestimate the importance of a team. You know, you always want to do everything yourself and you end up burning out. You need to understand eventually what you're really good at, focus on that, and delegate the things that you're not good at. Because not only is it wasting your time, but it's wasting your gift of what you're really good at, where you should be investing 100% of your time doing that. Lastly, what I see is also entrepreneurs that are trying to chase funding before having any kind of product market fit. Building a startup, building a company takes time. It has to go into phases. You cannot just rush into it. So you validate your idea first, you hire the right people, and you pace yourself.
Some really good insights there. So don't underestimate the importance of a team. Delegate the things that you're not good at so that it frees you up to do the things where you really are needed. What is one tip you would share with someone who is considering starting their journey as an entrepreneur?
The most important tip, I believe, is to surround yourself with the right people. Because, you are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself, that's a given. But your network can help you in so many ways in business. So go out there, meet as many people as you can. Not only are you going to learn from them, you never know what kind of doors they can open for you. You never know what kind of opportunities you can get out of the network that you build. So the most important thing is really building a network and being out there and socializing and just show yourself, show up, be out there.
You mentioned earlier on about the importance of having a passion for what you do. I also know that it's important for you to build with purpose. How does that mindset play into the ventures you support today?
Well, I always want to make sure that we align the ventures with values, innovation, empowerment, digital transformation, because nowadays, who we work with, clients and partners today, they care about the vision, not just the price. At the end of the day, when you run a business, the profit pays the bills, fine, but the purpose pays back forever. That's how I see it.
So it is so important that you're not just doing something for the money, but there is a purpose and a passion behind the things that you're doing.
Definitely, because this will allow you to go in the long term. You can always make a quick buck here and there, but that will just be like a short-term business. If you really build something around a purpose, then you're in it for the long term.
What's next for you and Emirates Graphic? How do you plan to continue supporting entrepreneurs in the region?
Well, we're planning on expanding more, building new in-house products, supporting more entrepreneurs. We have this vision of being a hub for innovation in the GCC. That's what we aim for. Of course, we're building apps and websites, but what we want to do is we want to build this ecosystem for entrepreneurs here in the region.
That's excellent. So something that you can continue to support others while you're growing your own business as well.
Exactly. That's the aim.
Now we've come to the segment of our show where I will ask you some rapid fire questions, our version of a game show. Are you ready?
Sure, tell me.
A book every entrepreneur should read.
Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich, yes.
It really shows you a different perspective on life.
The most valuable lesson failure taught you.
That you need to be passionate about the business that you grow.
A city that shaped your perspective.
Dubai.
What does entrepreneurship mean to you?
Freedom. It took me a long time because I really wanted to make sure that I gave the right definition of it for me. So I really had to go deep.
What is one thing that you do every day, no matter how busy you get?
Workout. Because a healthy body is a healthy mind.
Very true.
I don't want to go to the gym every day, but I go.
You make yourself go because the benefits are there.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for playing along. That was easy enough. Now I would like to ask you our signature green pill question. What was your green pill moment, the action or event that was the turning point for you or your career?
My green pill moment was probably deciding not to pack my bags and go home when Dubai felt impossible. That decision to basically stay and fight through that uncertainty changed absolutely everything.
Was there something that helped you make that decision? What was it that said to you, I've got to work through this, I've got to fight through this, even though it's difficult? What was it that made you make that decision?
To make the decision to come here or to make the decision to keep going?
To keep going, to stay.
Well, because there was no turning back for me. There was no turning back for me. I wanted to be an entrepreneur and I was going to do whatever it takes to make it work.
Excellent. So it's almost like having to burn the bridges behind you so that you can't go back, that you've got to make it happen wherever you are.
Definitely, of course.
Sacha, thank you so much for joining me today. I've so enjoyed this conversation with you. You've done amazing things so far. in a fairly short period of time in Dubai. You've accomplished a lot. Your journey from rebuilding after failure to empowering the next generation of founders and giving back to them is a powerful reminder that entrepreneurship is as much about heart as it is about hustle. Before we wrap up, where can our listeners connect with you and learn more about Emirates Graphic and your mentorship work?
So you can check out our website, emiratesgraphic.com. You can also find me on Instagram with my name, Sacha Christe. That's my username. And you're more than welcome to reach out to me if you're a young entrepreneur or an entrepreneur and need some guidance. I'm here to help. It will be my pleasure.
Super. Thank you for that. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Matrix Green Pill podcast. If you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. We truly appreciate it. Until next time, build with purpose, lead with humility, and keep lifting others as you climb.
If you enjoy our conversations, please like and subscribe. See you next Wednesday.